What's up guys, welcome back to Self-Knowledge Solutions, and today we're talking about Call of Duty Warzone Season 2 and the latest settings you should be using right now at this very moment for the people out there that's complaining in my comments that they have a high-end GPU but fluctuating in basically the GPU's usage. It never goes to 99, it always stays at 50 or 60 or whatever the case might be. I'm going to show you something. This is a bottleneck calculator that is free to go ahead and use. I'll leave a link in the description, or you could just use that over there. I'll leave a link in the description down below for you to just go ahead and click on. Right, this is for me to make an example to you. I'm running an i7-14700K, and to see what basically CPU and GPU you have, right click on your taskbar and go to Task Manager, and then all you're going to need to do is go to Performance over here and then open up Performance, and you will see what CPU you are running, and you scroll all the way down and you see what GPU you are running. Now you're going to type that CPU and GPU inside here. Okay, so your CPU, then your GPU, and then your resolution of your screen. All right, so if you have a 720p screen, 1080p screen, 1440p screen, or 4K screen, it's going to depend on the outcome of how much of a bottleneck is happening with your machine and how your game's going to perform. The more of a bottleneck is happening in your game, the more shit your game's going to run. Now, I've got a solution for this, for all people out there that it has a high-end GPU and that is not utilizing 99% of the GPU at all while playing Warzone. All right, so I'm going to show you, number one, is just the calculation. Okay, so I'm going to come here and I'm going to type in, all right, my CPU is already there because I typed it in already. So there's my CPU, there's my GPU, and this is at 1080p. I'm going to proceed to calculation. All right, I'm going to click on it, and then I'm going to scroll a little bit down, and I am doing 4.3% of a bottleneck, which is not a lot, really. It's not a lot. It's almost 5%, basically. It's not qualified as a lot of bottleneck happening while I'm playing my game at 1080p. It actually is not qualified as a lot. Qualified as a lot is 20 to 40%. 20, 30 to 40% is qualified as a lot. Okay, so now I'm going to make an example to you guys, which is this. I'm going to come to settings over here, and it's going to take me literally like all the way down to the bottom. So I'm just going to let it do its thing. Let it scroll all the way down to the bottom. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, it does a 4.3% bottleneck while playing with my 14700K, my 4070 Super at 1080p Full HD. Now, I'm going to change this, right? I'm just going to close this, and I'm going to change this to, let's say, 4K, right? Let's go 4K ultra wide, and I'm going to proceed to calculation, and let's see what bottleneck I get with my machine. 0% at ultra wide 4K on a 14700K and a 4070 Super. There's no bottleneck happening with my machine if I run my games at 4K, which I normally do. I run my games at 4K. All right, I don't play all my games at 4K, don't get me wrong, I don't. I normally do 1440p or 1080p, right? But this is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I actually found out what you can do if you have a higher generation graphics card and a lower generation CPU to make your game in Warzone run at 99% GPU utilization, which is what people want. They are saying, like, for instance, in my comments down below, yo, dude, my game's running like dog shit. I'm not doing enough FPS, or my GPU is not utilizing all its performance, raw performance, which it doesn't do 99% usage. It does 60, 50, 40 is all over the show. And I have a solution for this, ladies and gentlemen. I have a solution for it. Right. So now I'm going to scroll all the way down because I have to go all the way down again to calculate this again. So I'm just going to go a little bit up. I'm just going to make an example to you, okay? So let's go with a lower generation CPU and keep the GPU that I have in my machine. So let's just say I'm running this. We make an example, okay? The 10400F from an i5, Core i5 CPU from Intel, right? You could put any CPU inside here and calculate it with your GPU and see how your machine is performing, okay? I'm going to put this back at 1080p. You saw a 4.3, so I'm going to go back to 1080p. Let's just go back to 1080p. Here we go, 1080p, all right? This is now a lower generation CPU, still the exact same GPU that I'm running, still the exact same resolution, and I'm going to go proceed to calculation, and then I'm going to scroll a little bit down. Now it's doing 35.4% of a bottleneck because my CPU can't catch up with my GPU. It cannot catch up with it because my CPU is lower end than my GPU. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to get into this and show you how to fix this, It's very easy and simple to do. Right. But the first thing I highly recommend you go ahead and do is, ladies and gentlemen, come inside here and see what bottleneck is happening in your machine and how much of a bottleneck you are getting. If you're getting 0, you are perfectly fine. If you're getting all the way up to 5, you are perfectly fine. If it goes above that, you are going to need to do what I'm about to show you. All right. So I'm just going to close out of this and be on my desktop. You're going to right click and then open up the video control panel. If you are an NVIDIA user like me, all right, you come to manage 3D image settings like this, and you're going to copy everything I have inside here as is. You can just pause my video and then come inside here, DSR factors, and then click here and come to these ones over here. 1.78 is 1440p. Then you get your 2K and you get your 4K. You want to check these, all right? Now, the most important one will be 1440p. Most of the people out there that's running GPUs right now has a GPU that can run at 1440p perfectly fine. Not a lot of people are out there running GPUs that can run 4K gaming perfectly fine. Unless you have a 5000 series GPU, then you can go ahead and select this. If you have a 5000 generation graphics card from NVIDIA right now, or the equivalent on an AMD graphics card. You get my point, okay? So you're just going to say, okay, your screen will go completely black, ladies and gentlemen. Once you say apply here at the bottom, your screen will go completely black. Just give it some time for the changes to take effect, all right? Then once this has changed and it's now running, okay, you can now run your game, Call of Duty. Instead of running it at 1080p and having a bottleneck happening in your game, you can run your game at 1440p native on a 1080p monitor, on a 720p monitor. This is me doing a full-on test for you guys with one of my side screens that I use for Discord and one of my other side screens that I'm using for my YouTube monetization. Right, so this is not me using my TV that's actual native 4K. I'm not going to do that. I'm showing you guys how you can do this on a actual normal 1080p native monitor. Now you can also do this with AMD as well. It's very easy and simple to do. You can just go ahead and use this, and this also goes ahead with AMD. Goes neck and neck. It's the exact same thing. You change it and then it will do 1440p inside your game. Now, once we go into the game, I'm going to show you what's going to happen when you boot inside your game. Let me show you what happens. This right here. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we are in the game right now, and I'm utilizing about 98% of my GPU, and the reason why I'm using 98%, and it fluctuates, obviously, because I'm in the lobby and it's moving around and stuff like that. I'm doing about 140 FPS, 150, 160. It will climb up and down because I'm using uncapped FPS, and I'm not capping my FPS in the settings and stuff like that. So I'm just going to show you, ladies and gentlemen, this is what's going to happen. You're going to come to your little gear icon over here, and you're going to come to graphics, and you're going to come to your display tab, and you're going to have your game at full screen exclusive. Obviously the monitor that you're running, obviously the graphics card that you're running, and then obviously your screen's refresh rate, and then now you can see the resolutions are completely different. All right, so that's 4K, and now you have 1440p. I highly recommend selecting now 1440p because you enabled it in the NVIDIA control panel settings with the DSR factors. Now you run your game at native, true 1440p. As you can see that my MS5 Afterburner has become smaller. The only reason why this will become smaller if you are doing true 1440p resolution, okay? This still would have been bigger if I'm doing 1080p. So if I do 1080p, watch my MSI Afterburner. It will go completely black now, and then boom. This is how it looks for 1080p. And as you can see, my recording is also now completely blacked out on the right hand side and the bottom hand side, because I changed my OBS to record at true native 1440p, not 1080p. All right, so this is just to prove my point. You go back here, inside here, so obviously full screen exclusive, you're gonna have that there. You're gonna have this at now, you're gonna have it at 1440p. So obviously we're gonna go to 1440p over here, and I'm going to apply these settings, and now you'll see my screen will go black again, everything will go black, and now I'm doing full native 1440p. You can have your aspect ratio at 16:9. A lot of people do prefer automatic, but I do recommend playing it at 16:9. It's a competitive game, right? Restart shader preloading is something that's very, very important. You're going to need to select after we've done everything I'm about to show you, then you're going to come back to this and select this, okay? So just stay with me, ladies and gentlemen, follow my guidelines, and you should be good to go. Ladies and gentlemen, if this worked for you, smash the like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to your channel if you're new here. Motherfucking hip thrush that motherfucking like button if this makes your game run way better. I did a lot of fucking research for the people out there that is saying that their game is running like dog shit on a very high-end GPU, but obviously they are running a lower-end CPU. So this is how you fix that. Alright, so this over here, your display gamma, I highly recommend putting this at 2.4 right now for your display's gamma, just to be a little bit better. You can have it at 2.2 for your native just screens in general, but right now, because of the things we're doing, put this at 2.4. Alright, gamma slash brightness, obviously going to have this at like 70, 75, or your own personal preference, depending on how dark things are on the map. Things are quite dark. Alright, this one over here, NVIDIA Reflex Low Latency, you are now going to put on plus boost. The reason why you're going to put this on plus boost is because you know for a fact that your GPU is better than your CPU. So CPU bound cases is on plus boost, and then GPU bound cases is on. You are not GPU bound, you are CPU bound. This is why you did this, what I showed you right now. So you're going to have this on plus boost. Alright, come down to this over here, and you can have this a custom. You can have your VSync off unless you want to cap your refresh rate to your screen's hertz, but I don't recommend you do that. Put this off, and then your custom frame rate limit on unlimited unless you want to cap your FPS to the refresh rate of your screen, or just in general want to cap it to whatever the hell you want to. Let's say 120, 100, 110, your own personal preference, right? But I don't do that. I leave on unlimited, and I highly recommend you just do the same, all right? This one over here, reduce menu render resolution, native. Pause game rendering, off. Reduce quality when inactive, you could just select this option and then put it at 10 or 5 if you are constantly in the game. When I don't play this game, I fuck out the game completely and quit the game. I don't chill in Call of Duty all the time. I don't do this, right? Anyways, but there is people out there that's constantly in Call of Duty, so then change it to 5 or 10 minutes or whatever. Cool. Right. Focus mode all the way to 0, and then go ahead and apply these things. I've already done that, so I can't apply them. All right. Then you're going to come to quality over here, and you're going to be inside here. Now you'll see that 100 is natively 1440p. Okay, so if I pull this all the way up, that is higher than 4K. Now we're gonna go back to 100, and you can just type it in, and you'll do 1440p. You want your GPU to do this if you have a high-end GPU, but you don't have the best of CPUs, and you want your game to perform way better. Trust me. Alright, have your game running at 1440p because it's a sweet spot for Season 2 and how the game is. Call of Duty is a crack-smoking company and they don't care about the community at all, and this is why I'm making these videos. For the community out there that needs the help. Alright, this is why I make these fucking videos on a daily basis, and every time I do an update, I make new videos for you guys to have a smoother gameplay experience. So if you would like to support my channel, leave a super thanks, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're new here. If this works for you, for fuck's sakes, ladies and gentlemen, all you could do is smash that like button. You know, I'm doing so much work for you guys to help the community. I love helping the Call of Duty community, and it's what I do best. Alright? Then, we have the upscaling slash sharpening. You're going to go with Fidelity FX Cache. Please go with this, right? Fidelity FX Cache. Nothing else, okay? Fidelity FX Cache. And you're going to come here and have your sharpness at 70, 75, or 80 at your own personal preference. Mine is 70. All right, you're going to skip this and skip this. These are two frame generation options, and you shouldn't be using this in a multiplayer game, only on single player games. All right, don't be like the rest of the Call of Duty community or the Call of Duty developers that makes this game and use these options, because you don't need them, because it's frame generation. All right, it's AI created frames. You're going to see way more frames in your game, but you're actually still doing, let's just say you're doing 100 FPS in this game, then you put this on, then you do 200. You are not doing 200. You're still doing 100. It's AI created frames. It's a frame, then an AI created frame, then a frame, then an AI created frame. You get my point. I'm not going to go over this. I don't want to make this video too long, ladies and gentlemen. I'm make it short, sweet, and simple. All right. This over here, VRAM scale target. I've talked about this in my previous video. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. All right. Go check out that video. Best PC settings for Warzone Season 2. My previous video that I uploaded. I show why this would be on 80 and why you would go ahead and put this at 60 like this. Okay, that's if you are running a budget gaming graphics card. Okay, if you're running a higher gen graphics card, put this at 80 like this and leave it like this. Never ever put this at 90. Don't. Please, for the love of fuck, don't. Right? We're going to skip over this option and we're going to come over here. We're going to come to the details and textures. You're going to put this at normal right now. The reason why? It's because you're playing at 1440p and you want to utilize your GPU as much as you can. Right? Texture, filter, anisotropic, you're going to have this at high right now, this very moment. Depth of field, off, always off, leave it the fuck off, and done. Who in their right mind uses this option? Right? Detail quality, normal right now. Right? This one over here, the particle resolution, you can actually put on very low or high or normal. I'd leave mine at normal. You can copy my settings as is if you want to. Right. Bullet impacts always on. The effects are on even though they're off inside the settings over here. Shader quality, low, leave it at low, and done. On-demand texture streaming, minimal. You cannot turn this off. It's been a thing ever since the newer Call of Duties came out. When Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 stopped, basically, yeah, it went away. You used to be able to put this off. You can't do it anymore. All right? So put it at minimal. Okay. Local texture streaming quality. Normal on every single GPU out there, on every single PC out there. I don't care if you're playing this on a fucking calculator. I don't care if you're playing this game on a Samsung fridge. I really don't give a fuck. Leave this at normal. This is for all users out there. Leave it at normal. Then we come to shadow and lighting, and it plays the biggest role on this fucking game. Right. Now, it will tank your FPS if you start putting these things up too much, and it will make your game just worse overall. Shadow quality, normal, because you are now running your game at 1440p and you want to utilize your GPU more. So, normal. Only on the shadow quality. Screen space lighting, off, always off, leave it the fuck off and done. Screen space reflections, off, always off and leave it and done. Static reflection quality, Optimus Prime is not going to stand up and walk away. If you put this higher, for the love of fuck, leave this at low and done. Alright, then the environment. I highly recommend putting this at all so things can render in further down the line while you're aiming through your scope, or just in general, not near. You can have a near option, so everything renders around you, close to you. But if you have it at all, it renders things further down the line. If you're aiming through a scope or aiming through a sight, I highly recommend having this at all, especially if you change this to 1440p and you're doing what I'm doing right now. All right, volumetric quality, low. Then your physics quality at off. You do not need to see the physics in this fucking game. The weather grid volumes off. You do not need to see the weather in this fucking game. And then water quality as well. Turn it the fuck off. I mean, you do not need to see how good the water looks, for the love of fuck. Anyways, then you're going to apply these settings. If you haven't done this so already, I have. So go ahead and apply it. Then you kind of come to the view tab over here. Then you have your field of view. Field of view for competitiveness is all over the show. It's literally like 110, 115, or wherever yours is, 101. I don't give a fuck. Mine is at 120, and this is how I play my game. Have this at affected, have this at wide. I highly recommend putting this at wide, and I can give you a little bit more advice on this game as well, is these two over here. World motion blur, turn it the fuck off. Weapon motion blur, turn it the fuck off, because obviously you don't want to see this, because you might just throw up on your keyboard. Alright, then, all the way to the bottom here, you're going to have inverted flash. You can either have this on or off, alright? If your thing is off, you'll have a flashbang looking like that, and your screen will go white. If you have this on, like this, your screen will look like this. It's called inverted flash for a reason. Right, then you're going to apply these settings. Then from here, you're going to come to interface, and you're going to come to telemetry and turn this all on. So all on, and you'll have them running at the top there, and not use MSI Afterburner like me if you aren't using MSI Afterburner. You're going to come inside here, and you're going to come to color customization. Right, you're going to have you as your own personal color, team as a certain color that you want to select. Now I have that color over there. Then I have my party as the exact same color, and then I have my enemy as a custom color. So you can use the UI to have a custom color. I have mine as magenta pink over here, like this, and you can just select it how you want it, and then apply custom color. Then my enemies are pink if I mark them, if I see them, or whatever the case might be. So there you go. You have this over here, and then this over here as well. Scroll down, come to color filter. Color filter 2 is the best right now at this very moment. Please don't put this at none. Please don't put this at 1. Okay, well, yet again, it's your own personal preference. Just overall, the filter 2 is the best that you get. All right, color filtering target, you're gonna have this at both, not world, not interface, both, and then I have the intensity on both of these at 100%. Now we're gonna do the most important step that you're gonna need to take in this game for these settings to apply, is this right here. You're gonna go to your settings, you're gonna come to the display tab, and you're gonna come inside here, and you're gonna click on restart shader preloading, and you're gonna click on restart. Once you click on the restart button, you're going to press escape. You're going to press escape. And as you can see, I'm in the lobby right now. I'm doing about 96, 99% usage because she's walking around and things are being rendered and my GPU is taking advantage of it. Right. Now, for these things to apply to your game, you are going to fuck out the game completely. You're going to press escape, 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 and then say quit to your desktop. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we're on a desktop right now. Now, before you jump straight into your game and launch it through Steam or Battle.net or wherever you are playing this game through, like the Xbox Game Pass or whatever the case might be, you are obviously then going to launch the game, and at the top left corner, it's going to install the shaders. But before you do that, ladies and gentlemen, before you do that, as NVIDIA users, I just want to show you this. I am using 566.36 as the driver for my graphics card. It performs really well on Season 2. The newer graphics card drivers perform really bad. Okay, you might get away with the new drivers. If you are running the new drivers, ladies and gentlemen, and you're having no problems, you are good to go. Something I just want to point out is this as well. I'm going to open this up. As you can see, it says NVIDIA app. Okay, I skip it every fucking time because the new NVIDIA app absolutely tanks FPS, makes games run like dog shit, and I'm gonna say not now every fucking time to this and have GeForce Experience instead of the NVIDIA app. The NVIDIA app runs like absolute fucking dog shit. Right, now as you can see, it's gonna show me I have a new driver to download, which I'm not going to fucking do. Right, which is 572.16. I'm not going to do that. Right, I mean, it's already downloading. Oh, this has been done. Downloading a previous one, which is 566.36, which I have already. I have this one installed, even though it's paused there. I don't know why this is doing this. Anyways, there's the new driver. You can either get away with it by having this installed and your game runs perfectly fine, or you have this driver right here, which is 566.36, which is this one over here. Run this. It runs really well. If you want to install it over your new drivers, just go to Google, type in 566.36 NVIDIA driver download for your graphics card and install it and run your game. Right. Then, like I said, you are going to run your game, open it up, let the shaders install finish here at the top, ladies and gentlemen, and if it gets stuck on 0%, just do like one click, just like a click, just like one click, and then you should be good to go, ladies and gentlemen. If this worked for you, smash the like button, leave a comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and as always, hope this helped you, and peace